The dependent visa is the most difficult visa to get all the information you need. Sometimes you might see something on the government website and it's entirely different from what is happening in reality. Or sometimes you might just see stuff on the government website, but it's not clearly explained. Sometimes you might not even find any information that you need. In this video, I'm going to share 5 of the most common problems and the most common questions I've been asked about dependent visa. To be sincere, you might not see some of these things on the government website, so watch this video till the end. Hello everybody, my name is Cynthia. I share information that will help your transition abroad to be as smooth as possible. I share information about settling, working or studying in the UK. If you're interested in any of these, then subscribe to this channel. It won't hurt to just click on the like button, it supports my channel, and I want to thank all my returning subscribers. Thank you so much for your love and support. Without wasting time, let's get into this video. The first one is that dependent visa is often confused with the family visa. Now, dependent visa is for those people who are dependents, that's spouses or children of people that are on the skilled worker visa, global talent visa, those type of visas. And if you're on a family visa, it means you are a family member, that's spouse or children of someone who has British citizen, or perhaps the person has indefinite leave to remain. Now, one of the most common questions I've been asked is that if I'm the main applicant and I don't earn up to 29,000, does it mean I cannot bring my dependents? Now, the truth is that how much you earn determines whether you will get that visa or not. Now, if you get a visa that is a skilled worker visa, it means you can bring dependents unless you are exempted based on the occupation code. Whatever you're earning does not stop you from bringing dependents. Let me explain it better. Now, if you're a care worker and you work with the NHS with code 6131, which you know that 6131 can bring dependents, and then you want to bring your dependents and the salary on your this thing is 23,200, it doesn't mean that you cannot bring dependents because you're not earning up to 29,000 pounds that the government stated for family visa. That is a different type of visa entirely. That is the visa that is for people who want to bring their spouse and they themselves are British citizens, or they have indefinite leave to remain. What you earn does not have any relationship with whether you can bring your spouse or not. Is what you show as proof of fund that determines that. I hope this is clearer. Now, the second thing about dependent visa that you will not even see on the government website is that as a dependent, you don't need to switch to the dependent of your main applicant if your main applicant switches. Now, somebody will explain it better. Just watch this.
You do not have to switch your dependents if you have switched your sponsorship to a new employer. Now, the reason for this is that your dependents are dependent on a point-based system migrant. That is what their status is. They are not dependent on your employer. Now, if you remain a point-based system migrant by switching employers, you have not changed your status. So you remain a point-based system migrant, and your dependents with their dependent visa from the previous sponsor remain a dependent on a point-based system migrant. So they do not have to switch their dependents.
I hope you've understood what it means. It means so you don't need to switch. That is something you will not see on the government website. I've not seen it anywhere, but this is one information that is out there that you can use. Now, the third most controversial one is that on the Statement of Changes in Immigration Rules, September 2024, there are a list of eligibility criteria that is required for care workers with code 6135 and 6136 to bring dependents. Now, it includes that you must have applied before March 11th, 2024. Then you can bring dependents. They also said that if you're applying for an extension, then your dependents can join you and continue. Then it also says that if you have sole guardianship, like sole responsibility for those children, or if the children are born in the UK. These are some of the things that they listed there. But we all know in reality, some people have been getting approval even till date. Some people have been getting approval with 6135 and 6136. And also some people are not getting it. They're not getting it at all. Seriously, they'll apply for dependents to their main applicants who got that COS and apply for visa after March 11th. Yet they get refused. Now, if you're facing such a situation, this is what I read in some platform. I can't remember the platform. The lady said that she had to get a solicitor to assess the situation and help her with the second application. So if your visa has been refused, your dependent visa has been refused, you can get a solicitor, that's an immigration advisor, a lawyer, to help you with your second application. And through that, she was able to get her dependent visas approved. So that's for her husband and her children. So this is something you could try. Don't contact me because I'm not an immigration lawyer or a consultant, but I'm just sharing information that you can prepare yourself in such a way. Hi guys, let's connect on TikTok and Facebook. I share so many opportunities there that I don't need to create a video about. If you are interested in more opportunities, then let's connect on TikTok and Facebook, and I will put the links in the description as well as the comment section. The fourth thing that you have to consider is if you're a dependent and you decide to switch to become the main applicant of a skilled worker visa, you cannot combine the number of years you spent as a dependent with that of skilled worker visa. You cannot combine them together to add towards your stay for ILR when it's time for you to apply for your indefinite leave to remain. There are some particular visas you can combine. I'm going to put it on the screen so that you can see all of them. You can combine some of these things. I've heard some people say, oh, I'm a carer, I want to switch to become a business analyst. Yes, you can. And you can combine your stay as long as you are the main applicant. But if you decide to go on the path of being a dependent of a skilled worker visa, you cannot combine the number of years you spent as a dependent with that of being the main applicant of a skilled worker visa or global talent visa or anything. This last one is something that you wouldn't see anywhere, and it was shared by Nanelle. If you follow her on YouTube, you will see she shared something about it because she had a direct experience with this particular process. This is when you come in as a skilled worker visa holder into the UK, and maybe along the line you get married. Your spouse did not join you from day one. Your spouse joins you maybe after 2 years or 3 years or whatever, and then it's time for you to apply for ILR after 5 years in the UK. So what happens to your spouse? Because your spouse has not completed a total of 5 years in the UK, and your spouse needs to renew their visa, to continue to stay in the UK. So it's a bit confusing. A couple of things you could do, which is number one is that you can actually switch to become the spouse of the person that has ILR. That's the main applicant that has gotten their ILR. That is going to be a family visa route, and it's an entire route, different route. So being different, it means your time has stopped and you start counting again. Like I explained to you in the last point, that you need to be on the same route to combine the number of years for your ILR. You don't want that thing to be switched from the beginning. You don't want your stay to start counting afresh. Now, the option she used to solve this particular problem is that her spouse had to apply for, they say, dependent of a tier 2, so dependent of a skilled worker visa to continue his stay. Now, in order to achieve this, she explained that the first thing they had to do is, because he already has an e-visa, it was not very difficult or complicated. There was no option for him to provide COS or sponsorship details or anything. There was no need for that. So the things that they needed was the UAN. She also explained that the UAN number should be the number for the visa extension before the ILR application. So not that one that she used to apply for ILR, but the one for the skilled worker visa that they applied last. So I hope that makes sense. So don't use the one for the ILR, but use the one that is for the last application, maybe visa extension or skilled worker visa that you use. That is the one that you use. Now, she also explains that the amount is, depending on the type of visa you are on. If it's for maybe business analyst or project management or whatever type of visa you're on, is going to be the same amount That's the same previous amount. That's what you use. And she says that you will not need to go for a biometric appointment. And I think the reason for this is because you already have an e-visa. You have completed your e-visa process online and it's successful. So there was no need to carry out the biometric appointment. See, I didn't know that you didn't need to go for biometric appointments. I used to go for biometric appointments, but you don't need it. You can use that UK immigration ID check app to carry out the process in the comfort of your home. I've heard of many people that did it with their entire family. They were successful with the whole thing and they just approved their visa in a short while. I created a video about it, so it's here. And also, if you have not completed your e-visa process, I'm going to put the link here too. So these are some of the things I feel I should share with you in case you are on that pathway, you're a dependent, or maybe you have a dependent and you're worried, how do I navigate this system? How do I go about this? I feel this would help you. I hope you've benefited a lot from this video. Please like, share, subscribe. I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.